Okay, we're going to teach you how to fit linear models to data, and here's an example that we're going to use to show how these problems work. So you can just look at this for a second, and then we're going to get started. So the graph that we're going to use for this is a scatter plot, and they're used to show the relationship between two sets of data. And to insert the data into the calculator, you press Stat, press 1 to enter the edit option, and then you just enter the data. As you can see right here, we did that for it.
So the least squares line is a statistical method that is used to find the line of best fit. So to find that on your calculator, you're going to press Stat and go over to Calc and go to number 4, which is lin reg. And then you want to make sure that the X list is L1 and the Y list is L2. And then you can hit enter and then go to calculate and hit enter. And this gives you the slope of the least squares line, the y-intercept, and your correlation coefficient.
And the correlation coefficient describes how well the data points can be modeled by a line. And it's a number between -1 and 1, and the closer it is to 1, it's more linear, and the closer it is to 0, it has more of a random distribution, and you can see from this picture right here, it just kind of explains it.
So to graph the least squares line on your calculator, you're going to go through all the steps from the previous slide, and then once you get to this screen, you're going to press y equals and scroll to a blank spot, and then press vars and go down and press number 5, statistics. And then you go over to equations and just select number 1 and hit enter, and then the graphing button, and that'll give you your scatter plot.
And for our question at the beginning, here's the answer for it, that we use all of it together. So we use the equation of least squares line to figure it out. So if you want to pause this and just look at it to understand it more, if you didn't understand what we were saying, you can do that.
So the median line is just like the least squares line, but it's less influenced by the outsiders, or the outliers. And here are the steps how to find that on the calculator. So you do Stat, edit, which is number 1, and then enter the data. And then you do Stat, go over to Calc, and then down to the median. And then it's just like the least squares line where you go into, don't know what that is, y equals, and then down to a clean y equals, and then do vars, go down to stats again. Oh, that's not stats. Equations, and then click enter, and then zoom 9.
And that's it. So you're welcome, I guess. Okay.